X amount of stuff at a level that you've got to keep it in all time. Right. How do you do it?
Well, that's what we were, as a matter of fact, our tour manager, Scotty, and what I do is right before we started this interview, by the time Tesla goes on, me being diabetic, it's a different ball game than most people. Most people's blood sugars, is normal. For me, it goes up and down, and I've had, a couple problems in the past with it on stage, where I passed out or something happened. And what it is because with any kind of, you go on stage and put on energy, normal people pass out. Yeah. And when you give that much energy, being a diabetic, which is sort of every rose has its thorn, meaning there's the chance of being on stage, but also the chance of having a disease like that, and you got to take an insulin and injection before you go on stage. And I take them twice a day ever since I was 6 years old. And I think with that, a lot of people see that and they're like, God, that's, how do you do it? But the thing is I've got a lot of great letters in the mail and stuff like that from people who've called up and just said, or written and said, you know what, Bret, you've been an inspiration. And it really kind of chokes you up a little bit, people that were either crippled or handicapped, that they can go out and do it. I've never let it stop me, and I never will, you know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things, it'll have to stop me dead in my tracks before it stops me, So, but I think for Bobby and for CC and all those guys to do something like that, hold on just a second. But I think to go out and perform even for them is tough, so if you can imagine being out on stage and being a diabetic and doing all this, I think it's pretty good. And I think I've met a lot of people, you look at Roy Orbison, God bless his soul, or people like that.
So now and then, to maintain the level, Bret, I mean, certainly it's got to take its toll at certain times of the tour. I mean, what do you do in it?
Well, it's, I had, right before we came up to Vancouver, I had some voice problems, and that was only, we had started the tour when, April 1st of 1988, and we went out with David Lee Roth opening up, and it was tough, it was our first time back, support and open up and say, we were going out to a brand new audience, a much bigger audience, you know what I'm saying? And once we got out on tour and stuff, it just, the rigors of, you've seen what happens. We have people backstage, people partying and having a great time. And sometimes I think the people out there got to remember that we do this every night, meaning 5 and 6 nights out of the week. So there's certain nights that the parties aren't as big. Truthfully, as the other nights, some nights, you get like a Sunday night where, you have a day off on Monday. You could go a little bit bigger of a party. You do that same thing. If you do that 7 and 8 nights, 8 days a week, if you do that 8 days a week, you're gonna burn out, and you can't do it. So the most important thing is that when we go out on stage, that show, meaning tonight, if these people came to see our show and traveled from God knows where to come see it, I go out on stage and I last 2 songs and I say, look, I'm tired. I can't go on. They're going to be pissed, and you better believe next year they ain't coming back to see us. So I think we do real well. We keep ourselves in shape, and it's sort of, we work hard and we play hard, and it works out.